Shalom, brothers and sisters. Grace, mercy, and peace be unto you. From Yahuwah, our Father, and Yahusha, he is the Messiah, the one that carries the burden of Yah. His voice, our high priest, soon coming king. Hear, O Yeshua, Yahuwah, who is our mighty one. He is one. There is no other mighty one but Yahuwah, and Yahusha is his voice. This is Brother Daoud coming to you again to ask the question, what is leaven? Here you are. These are the basic products that you use to make your bread rise. Search for them. See if you have them in your house. They are to be removed for the soul that eats anything leavened for 7 days shall be cut off from the congregation. So you're going to look for products that have these ingredients in it. Here's another product. Bread making ingredients. The reluctant gourmet. Eggs added to dough help with rising. A bread dough rich with egg will rise very high, because eggs are a leavening agent. You got that? As well as the fats from the yolk help to tenderize the crumb and lighten the texture a bit. Eggs also contain the emulsifier lecithin. So eggs are leaven. You have to remove them from your house also. And egg products, for example, egg noodles, mayonnaise, get rid of them. We are now in the last week before the Feast of Unleavened Bread. You can start by gathering every product in your house that has leaven in it. Put them on your counter. Make sure the children are participating. When you put them on your counter, you can see all of the things that you have. You have a week to put them to use. So if you're going to clean it out, make a cake or some cookies or something for the children. They'll be very interested in it then. It'll be an event that they will look forward to every year, because in this week before the Feast of Unleavened Bread, you can utilize all of the products that you have in your house that has leaven in it. Note, let me put away some Christian myths. They say that leaven speaks of sin. It does not. The whole reason that you are to put leaven out of your house and you're not to eat leaven for 7 days is because it is called the bread of haste. They didn't have the time for it to leaven and rise. They were hastening to leave the land of Egypt. So they made flat bread, ate bitter herbs, and ate the lamb that they roasted on the fire. So you have to remove everything that is leavened out of your house. But this week, You have 1 week to eat all of the things that you can so that you can throw the rest away. When you come to the way and you look for how to keep the feast, first place you go is to the Jews. They are the example for the world on how to carry out this feast. Yeah. What do you see here in this picture that we just read about that has to be removed from your house? An egg. Looking at this, you would say it's okay to have egg in your house during the feast. But we just heard that eggs are a leavening agent and it makes the bread rise. And what you are to get rid of is anything that makes the bread rise. You got me, brothers and sisters? Don't follow this example. You can make your own. You know, you can put your bitter herbs in your trays. We know how to set a table. You don't have to follow this example. Sha-mut Exodus, chapter 12, verse 15. 7 days shall you eat unleavened bread. That is clear, isn't it? Indeed, the first day, the 14th day, you shall put away leaven out of your houses. That's including eggs and egg products. When the 14th day dawns towards the evening, all of the leaven should be removed. For whosoever eateth leavened bread from the first day, which is the 14th day in the evening, until the 7th day, which is the 21st day in the evening, that soul shall be cut off from your sorrow. This is a statute throughout your generations forever. If you follow the Jews, you'll have these egg products in your house. Would you have violated the statute? Yes, you would have. It says, indeed, the first day you shall put away leaven out of your houses. It's a good thing that the statute did not say, for whosoever has any leaven in their house shall be cut off from the congregation, because most of the times you may find something later on in your house that you forgot to remove. What is the reason for removing it in the first place? So that you are not tempted to eat anything with leaven in it. Okay, so this is serious. Brothers and sisters, this is serious. I'm going to give you some scenarios. If you were to eat any leaven on this day, you see that you'll be cut off. That's death. You're finished. Lake of fire is going to be your home. What if you have the wrong day? What if you followed the same Jews that showed you an egg on their Seder plate that would still be in their house for the feast, and you followed them when they adjusted the calendar? You won't be in the first month. Now they're all the way in, what? the third month of the year after us. You see what I'm saying? And the only reason that we fell for their foolishness and their lies is because we didn't have any knowledge. Now the Father has brought knowledge to his people. He has stretched forth his hand to show us, not to follow them, not to trust them. He said, do not trust your enemies. And they are our enemies, you know. They owned the slave ships that brought us here. They became super wealthy from the stock market. We were what was traded on that first stock market. Come on, brothers and sisters. They made merchandise out of us. And then they tried to steal our identity. But they couldn't. To the unlearned, the unstable, which is the whole world, they look at these people and they say, those are God's chosen people. Is that true? Absolutely yes. They are God's chosen people. We are not. We are Yah's chosen people. We know that God is short for God-Ra'el, the one who deceived Eve, the one who showed men the blows of death. And Yah is short for Yahuwah, he who is seated upon the throne, the creator of all things. We follow the creator. They follow the one who has transgressed against the creator. Do not follow them. Da-ba-ra-yam Deuteronomy. Look at the Hebrew script. Hebrew reads from right to left. They gave us Deuteronomy. Look at the letters. Da, ba, ra, ya, ma or me. Da-ba-ra-yam. It's plural. I have to investigate what da-ba-ra means. All right. And there shall be no leavened bread seen with you in all of your coast for 7 days. Did you hear that? In all of your lands, there can be no leaven found in anyone's houses, any stores, anywhere. Brother Dawood, can I go to Publix and tell them you have to take all the bread off the shelves? Can I go to Piggly Wiggly and tell them to take all of the bread off the shelves? What about my neighbors next door? Can I go to their houses and tell them, hey, you have to clean out all the leaven from your house? No. That is not what the commandment is telling us. There's a prerequisite that you have to follow first. What is that? When you come into the land. So you're not in the land. You can only police your own home. You can only tell the ones who are coming over to share this feast with you. You can tell them they have to clean out all the leaven from their houses before they come over for dinner with you. This is a high, holy dinner. Everyone must follow the law. Brother Daoud? Yes. The Jews are in the land. They're surrounded by Christians, the Palestinians who are Muslims, and a lot of Islamic people. Can they tell them to remove the leaven from their homes and their stores? The answer is no. They don't have a Messiah who came back with them to cleanse the land, set the rules, take over the kingdom and rule with the iron rod. They were brought there by the Balfour Agreement. The Balfour Agreement really set them up as a democratic society. When we come, we will be a theocracy or theocratic society. One person ruling, Yahusha. He's going to rule with an iron rod. They can't achieve this goal either. Remember, they are God's chosen people, not Yah's chosen people. Neither shall there be anything of the flesh which you sacrificed the first day in the evening, the 14th day in the evening, remain all night until the morning. You have to burn the residue on the fire before the sun rises. But they can't achieve this either. They have no priest. The priest of Harun is the only one who can sacrifice the lamb. No one else, Brother Daoud, no one else on earth but the priest of Harun can do this. They don't have a temple where Yah has placed his name to go to find the priest. Isn't that a big problem? It shows that everything that they're committing over there is fraud. It's counterfeit. But because we study the law, and the law will reveal sin, transgression, we know who they are. How do they account for this? They have created their own korbanot. They have created their own statutes to get around the law. You cannot uphold the law while violating the law at the same time. The Father said you cannot add to or take away from this book of the law. But they do it anyway. Because Yah is not their master. God is. Brother CooYah's calendar. I want to make sure that you understand this. It's very easily understood if you can get your mind from being fixated on European culture. Okay, look at the calendar. Look at the day I have circled. And this time it really does look like a circle. Look at 5 in yellow. 5 in yellow is Pope Gregory's calendar. Look at 14 in blue. 14 in blue represents the sky calendar. You know, the moon Brother CooYah has overlaid the sky calendar on top of Pope Gregory's calendar so that you can find the days of the feast, because they can only be found through the moon. Okay, so on this day, the 5th on Pope Gregory's calendar, which in the sky would be the 14th day of the month, on the 14th day, before the evening comes, all of the leaven must be removed from your house. You got it? When the evening comes, it begins the feast of unleavened bread. Look at 15. 15 is our regular weekly Sabbath. You know, a regular weekly Shabbat. And on top of our regular weekly Shabbat, we're going to place another Shabbat, Passover, and the Feast of Unleavened Bread. This is why it's called a high holy day, because you have 2 in 1. Remember, at the 14th day in the evening until the 15th day in the evening, you cannot do any servile work. You cannot go to work. You have to take the day off. All right, so from the 15th, you're going to count 7 days. When you count your 7 days, you're going to come to what it says 12 in yellow on Pope Gregory's calendar, and it'll say 21 on the sky calendar. When does this day begin? This day is going to begin the 20th in the evening until the 21st in the evening, and that will be the end of your Feast of Unleavened Bread. But on the 21st day, when you create or make your feast, you have to store some up for the next day. For the next day is your regular weekly Shabbat. So you won't be eating any leaven on the 13th. You see the 13th? Next to it says 22, our regular weekly Shabbat. You won't be eating any leaven on that day. Then you come to the day which says 14, and on the side it says 23. On the bottom it says 1. That is the beginning of your 6 working days. You were not supposed to eat. If you were in the land, you were not supposed to eat any bread or parched corn or green ears until this day that you have brought the sheaf unto the priest. You understand? This is why Judaism, they can't do this. Their Shabbat is on Pope Gregory's calendar. It won't line up with this. They're in the land. They have a harvest. But they don't have a sheaf to bring it to. A priest to bring the sheaf to. They don't have a temple where Yah has put his name, where the priest would be. So everything that they told you before is a fraud. You cannot add to or take away from this book of the law. Do you understand? What I've done, brothers and sisters, by showing you what I showed you before, they're not the people. You are. We have eliminated them through the law. Never resurrect them again. They have become irrelevant altogether. Last rules. Remove all leaven from your house. You saw the products. Anything with those products in it. Be wise. Be careful. Your guests who are coming over to your house for the feast, they must follow the same instructions that you do. So you have to educate them. No servile work can be done on the first day and the last day of the feast. That's on the 5th and on the 12th on Pope Gregory's calendar. Have the children participate in cleaning out the leaven. Make it a fun event. You know? Get the leaven pulled out. If you got little ones, then you show them what leaven is, what it does. Maybe you can bake them a cake or make some cookies or something, you know? These things will stick in their mind. They'll be looking forward to cleaning it out every year. But check their dresser drawers and school bags for cookies. I remember we found cookies in their drawers and in their school bags. Yeah, they had a little stash going. Make sure that you check under their beds, everything. Have them to clean their room. Have them to search for leaven, crumbs, or anything like that. Then you come behind them and check. No leaven can be eaten for 7 days. Explain this carefully to your children because they're going to school. If they're going to school, they're going to encounter leavened products at lunch. They're going to watch other children eating their burgers and pizza and all of these things, and they're going to want it also. So you have to make your own lunches for the days between the 1st and the 7th day of the feast. Now remember, you have to save some of the food that you make on the 7th day of the feast for the next day, which begins your regular weekly Shabbat. And that's going to come directly after the 7th day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Here's our number one rule every single year. When in doubt, throw it out. Shalom.